Shalom. Shalom, shalom, shalom. This is Wanda. This is Diaspora Connect. Decided to do a live today. And let me see. Let's see. That is joiner and PayPal is okay. I am live. So hello, everybody. I am doing a Q&A today, and I am live. And just wanted to do a live video. Stop cam. Okay, decided to do a live today, and yeah, so what is up, fam? I decided to do a live Q&A today. So just wanted to practice using these tools that we have here. Let's see. Edit name, edit avatar. Stop mic. See. Yep. So I am just waiting on people to come in, actually. So I want to know if people can hear me, if they can see me okay. Okay, let's see. My phone is in use /StreamYard. Okay. And so, yeah. So hello, everybody. This is Wanda. This is Diaspora Connect. I left America back in July 2020 and been moved to Africa, Tanzania, and have been living here for 4 years this year. So all is well. I did create a business called Diaspora Connect, where I do business and travel consultations. So those interested in visiting, interested in repatriating and or doing business, hit me up at Diaspora Connect. 0@gmail.com. I did share my email address. I do have PayPal and WhatsApp if you're interested in donating to my cause and me living here in Africa. I have a land and building project that I am also working on. So if you want to donate to that, you can. I have a GoFundMe account, and the link is in my phone, so it's difficult for me to share it. Let me see if I could do it on my phone. So I am here. So if anyone has questions, I can help you. I can answer any questions that you may have. Let me see. Yeah, I can answer any questions that you may have. So is this a story? Yeah, I can answer any questions that you may have. Yeah, so yeah, fam, but I really didn't have anything in particular to talk about. I wanted to just do this live because I need to practice doing these lives. So, yep, decided to do a live today. I was out and about and decided to do a live video for my people. Hi, Black Centric. Welcome to my live. Peace to you and yours as well. Shout out from Arizona. All right, all right. Yep. I was born and raised in Newark, New Jersey, moved to Atlanta, lived in Colorado Springs, Colorado before I moved to Africa. So, yes, I have been here now for 4 years. And I decided to do a live because I don't often do lives and I'm using StreamYard. So I'm trying to get accustomed to how everything is working. And so apparently you can hear me and see me. So thank you for jumping into the live. I really did not have anything in particular to talk about, but I wanted to answer some questions for people who may be interested in Tanzania, want to know anything about it. I have a lot of videos talking about Tanzania and my experience. Now, for me, I want to put this out there. I am no expert. I just share my experience and my life being here, experiences. Yeah, so that's what I kind of been doing since I've been here, sharing with my brothers and sisters in the Western countries who are interested in maybe visiting, wanting to do business, or how, just anything about Tanzania. As a foreigner, I do want to say that as a foreigner, in order to purchase land here, you have to have a business. So you do have to create a business in order to buy land here in Tanzania. So that's what I am encouraging my people to do if they're interested in repatriating here, buying land here. I am recommending that you just create a business first. And then under your business, you can do everything in terms of like buying land, anything else that you want to do. But I am recommending for you to create a business. I am recommending for you to partner with the local because being in this country, the first language is not English, it's Swahili, Kiswahili. So you don't have to be an expert at speaking Swahili, but you do need to have a local to help you, work with you, to go to the different offices for you, to do a lot of the business transactions for you because you don't speak the language. So when I came here, I didn't know any Swahili, none, not even a greeting, but I did. I was blessed to partner with the local that helped me out a lot, maneuver through, the different ways of how to, survive here. And so based on my experience, and me partnering with several locals, I have different connections for you in terms of how you can get, I can help you actually get situated here and finding places, and I can connect you with the right people and doing business and just different stuff. A gamut of things that you might need coming from the West. I have experienced almost all of it. So phones and apartments, and the only thing I haven't done, I'm in the process of doing, is actually purchasing land. I have not actually done that yet, but I'm in the process of doing it. So soon I'll be able to walk you through that process. But that process won't be online. That process will definitely be a one-on-one consultation, more private. And I do charge a fee for consultation. I charge 60 USD for 60 minutes. So $60 for 60 minutes. So for more detailed information of doing business, more detailed information of actually purchasing land under your business. So I will share those details with people for a fee, and it's more personal. It won't be online. So some stuff I've learned being here 4 years that some stuff you have to keep private. So those things I'm starting to keep private, as well as the actual physical location of my land, and the personal business partnerships that I will be doing from this point forward will be more private. So once I do get monetized, I'm not monetized yet, but once I do, then I may do like a members only and share more detailed, more personal details about what I'm doing. But the members only will be paid. So you have to pay for the members only. When I do get monetized, I may set something like that up for people who want the information, but they will have to pay. Or if you come here and you do a consultation with me, then I'll show you more detailed information and be more detailed with you with certain things. And also, I will be screening. So even if you are here, even if you do pay for a consultation, that does not mean that I will share my personal details with you. Because even in that, you have to screen for everything. I've learned that since I've been here for 4 years, dealing with our people, dealing with locals, dealing with this online platform. You cannot share all of your information online. You have to move in silence with some things, and you have to be discreet about what you share, because you have everybody watching you here on these platforms. You have your friends, you have your associates, you have your frenemies, you have your enemies, and you have your haters. So you have a lot of different gamuts of people that watch you on here. Okay, Black centric. I'm a Black male. I'm 48 years old. I was in training, moved to Africa, either Ghana or Kenya. Financially, it seems tough. Yeah, it is. It's not cheap. It's not cheap, Black centric. It's not cheap. But I did move here in 2020, and I was at that time, I was think of 49 or 50. I was, because I'm 55 right now, but I was 49 or 50 when I moved. And when I decided to move, I didn't even plan well, to be honest. I didn't have a long-term plan. Like some people say, come visit, plan ahead. I received the call to leave and I left. Everything just happened to work out for me, Black centric. I didn't make a strategic plan like some people do. I didn't have a whole lot of money like some people did. And I am not retirement age yet. I would say I'm early retirement age. So 55 could be considered early retirement age, but I'm not. Yeah, I wasn't there when I first came in, and I came around, at your age, I was thinking about planning to come. Around 48, 49, I was planning to come, but I actually made that move around 49, 50. And due to COVID, it kind of pushed me ahead of time. It pushed me to leave sooner and literally walk by faith. That's what I'm doing. That's what I've been doing since I've been here. And I've been on a roller coaster, ups and downs, financial ups and downs. In my life, finances and everything. It's just things have been just working out slowly. And it's kind of leveling out right now. But yeah, especially also when you do business out here, it's up and down, because I would say I created my business back in 2021. And yeah, I haven't made that much money. I haven't made a whole lot of money, but it's been it has its peaks and its valleys. Because I do only consultations. Well, not only, I do consultations, and then I do referrals and other little things here and there for income. So it's been like this roller coaster financial wise. So, and then I had savings also, and I actually had a 401k that I cashed out. So it's certain different things that I did throughout the process of me being here that has helped me to still have been here for 4 years. And the biggest thing that helped me was creating a business, even though it's not consistent. And even though the flow of income is like up and down, as you know, a lot of people do consultations living here in Africa. So that's not going to make me a whole lot of money, but it has been consistent. It has helped me to have been here for 4 years. As you can see, I charge $60 for 60 minutes. So, one consultation that's helpful a month or 2, 3. I mean, it varies. I never know how many I'm going to get a month. So in that way, it's inconsistent, but that's why it's good to have streams of income. Streams of income. So if you have an online business, if you have an online job, if you create, like I created a business here, and then so I have that area and I have other areas. So the incomes comes in its streams, different streams. So if one area is down, you have money from another area. That area is down, you have savings of that. So you have to have streams of income. But if you can set up streams of income, you don't even have to say, I saved, like me. When I got here, y'all, I only had in my bank account, I may have had $2,000, because I had did I pay my rent? I moved, so the money that I would pay for rent, I didn't have to pay, because my rent was like $1,050 at the time when I moved. So I had, considering I didn't have to pay that, and then I had some other money. So I may have had $2,000 when I first got here, but I was still working. So I was like on a 2-week vacation. So I was still working. So I had the savings plus, the vacation pay that I was going to get that. So, and I was making pretty good money. I was making about $40,000 a year. So that money was being saved while I was here. And then I ended up deciding to stay and not leave. But this was my second country. So the first time I visited Africa was I went to Ghana during the year of return. Hey, Traveling Tony, shalom, hello, greetings. So the first time I came to Africa, and I'm just chit-chatting, Tony. I ain't talking about nothing specific. I'm just wanted to do a Q&A today. I was out and about and decided to go ahead and do a live stream. But I was saying that when my first visit to Africa was in 2019, during the year of return, I went to Ghana. So it was my first time to the continent, and I stayed in Ghana for 2 weeks. And then when I went back to the US, I was trying to plan accordingly financially. How can I repatriate to Africa? Because I knew I was moving. I just didn't know how, when, and I was just trying to set up my finances to be able to do that. At the time, I wasn't thinking about online job. I was actually still working a job. So I was trying to, I was planning on moving to South Africa. That was my plan. Black centric, yes. I'm gonna stop because I'm gonna read your. I understand what you mean about moving in silence. Yes. Try to connect with other. Yes. Yes. Because we are our own people. That's true. That's true. We are Israelites. That's right. Black centric. Even with us being needing each other, it's been hard here because there have been some Black Americans that have come here, or diaspora, I would say mainly Black Americans, that have not been as honest here in Tanzania. They haven't been as honest, and everybody is on a hustle. Everybody trying to stay. Everybody coming out here, they trying to hustle. They trying to make money. I get it, but we have to be honest. Yes, it's Traveling Tony. Exactly. You have to be an honest person, and all of us are not honest. So you have to be careful who you group with. Even as Black Americans being here, we can't even just trust each other when it comes to doing business, because everybody is, I ain't gonna say everybody, but a lot of people out here are out to make money. So they can be a little cutthroat, because everybody trying to stay, they trying to make money. And sometimes they could try to benefit off of you coming out here and try to charge you USD for being here. So you come here from America, and of course, the value of the money by now, that, for every one USD estimated around about 2,500 T shillings or maybe more, because it's fluctuating. But you have Americans here that know the value, right? But they'll charge our people in the West US dollars when they come here or before they get here for stuff. And so they could gouge you, they could overcharge you just because that's what you pay in the US. It's not fair that you should be paying what you pay in the US when you come here, and it's a lot less. So your own people can do you like that. Yup, your own people can do you like that. So you have to even be careful with grouping with diaspora out here. The locals will charge you the local price, but they, even if they overcharge you, for example, some of them may overcharge you because they hear your accent or whatever. But from my experience and what I've noticed, they won't charge you even as much as a person from the US will charge you. So for me, I'm from the US, so I know the US prices. So if I come here and I charge people to do stuff in America, right? I can easily charge them US dollars to do stuff here when it don't even cost that much here. So I can get over on my own people. And I don't do that. My prices are set $60 for 60 minutes consultation. So that's set. But for other things that you might need, you might come here and I might try to tell you this costs this costs that. I'm charging you for US prices when here in Tanzania it won't be that. So we have to be careful even dealing with our own people here. And I have noticed that, and that has been the experience of our own people. Some of us, not all, some of us will be overcharging our own people here. So for example, another example, and they're gonna be mad at me, but I'm gonna say it because I feel like it's wrong. Like if you got an Airbnb here, right? You come here, you rent a place, right? And you rent out an Airbnb to diaspora. A lot of these people that have these Airbnbs and they're renting them out to our people, they're charging US dollars to rent this Airbnb. So it didn't cost that much when they rented it. They rented it at a local price and maybe a little bit more than local price, but they're charging US dollars to rent a place here. It's no way that somebody should be paying US dollars for here. I don't care if it's in Zanzibar. It'll be cheaper for you to physically go to Zanzibar and get you rent a Airbnb or go there and rent a hotel there in Zanzibar when you arrive here. It'll be cheaper for you to arrive here in Tanzania, go visit, take the ferry and go visit and rent a room. It'll be cheaper for you to do it that way than you to do it online, because even the people in Zanzibar that's booking flights and stuff for you online, they're charging you US dollars. They're not charging you T shilling price. It's probably going to be in T shillings, but it's going to be up to your currency. So it's cheaper. I always tell people, if you want to visit any place in Tanzania, come here, arrive here. Don't be booking stuff back in the West, because you're going to get that Western price. You're going to get that higher price. And now when you get here and you get a safari, they're going to probably charge you a lot, because safaris, locals don't really do. Yes, Black centric. Yeah, yeah, Black centric. That's what a lot of us are trying to do. We're trying to build, which I think I have a decent amount of people that I have connected with, but also not only the connecting part, everybody want to do their own thing. Everybody want to do that. You meet people that you feel like that y'all connect, but they say, well, I want to do A, B, C, and D. And what they are doing is a dream that they want. So they don't necessarily want to partner with you to do things. Everybody want to do their own thing. So that's another thing about a grouping with Black people or people from America, Black Americans. People come here with the idea of things that they want to do. So they want to they want to do business. It's mainly about business. They want to do this kind of business, and it's certain things that they want to do that may not fall in line with what you're doing. So for me, I connect with them. Like, I'll get their number and their information. I tell them if they need anything, hit me up, email me or whatever. And then if I know of anybody, I will connect them. So that's kind of what I do. It's like, I refer people. I've been here a while, 4 years. So I know a lot of people. So when I see them, I'll get their number, give them my number. I tell them, if you need anything, you have any questions, email me. Right. So that's kind of a way that I help people. I connect with them, but I don't do group business things, or I don't do group land project. I don't do stuff like that, because the reason that that's a problem here in Tanzania, that might work in other countries like Ghana or whatever, where you can actually buy land so people can do that. But here in Tanzania, you have to have a business registered. So if you group with somebody and their stuff is not right, if their business stuff is not right, and you give them your money in some kind of land project or whatever, then that thing could fall apart. Business may not be all legitimate, like all their information may not be right in their business. So if you're giving them money, right, because they have a business, so y'all doing something, what if the business is not set up right? Then you done gave them your money and they can't even legitimately buy land because the business information is not right. So that's why it's so important in Tanzania. It's not every country, but in Tanzania specifically, your business has to be registered correctly. You have to have it right. You got to have your taxes paid. You got to have everything legit before you decide you want to buy land. So once you get everything legitimately, then you buy land. Now, you don't want to depend on somebody else's business that you don't know if it's set up right. So I always recommend, unless you're married to a local, like Traveling Tony that's speaking in the group, he married to a local, so he can do his own thing. They can buy land. But when you are not married to a local and you're just a foreigner and you want to buy land, you have to have a business registered. It's no way around it. For me personally, I wouldn't send my money to anybody here in Tanzania, depending on their business to be right for them to get land for you under their business. What if their business is not right? What if the stuff is not right? And then you spent your money to buy land and it's not legitimately your land in your name, or, somebody could take it from you. So that's very important here in Tanzania. That's why I do business consultations. That's why I do business consultations, because I'm trying to encourage those who do have the money. Don't send your money to other people. Use your money and create your own business that that you got all the paperwork and all the documentation before you spend thousands of dollars on buying land and building a structure. Your business got to be set up correctly. So I advise on that. And I also advise to partner with the local. Yes, you can create a business as a foreigner on your own, but it's going to be way too much money. It's going to be like you have to prove that you have $500,000, some astronomical amount of money. When you can partner with the local and do business, you do have to partner with the local. You do need to do it with the local, because then you get more of a local price to register your business, and your partner will be the one that does most of the business for you, the business transactions for you, because you don't speak the language they do. Of course, you have to find a trusted local, which is what I kind of do as I'm here and I'm going from place to place. Hi, I'm good. How are you? Divakaran. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but welcome. I'm doing well. I am trying to kind of get a network of locals that are trusted for people who come as foreigners, specifically, my people, diaspora, all throughout the four corners. But I deal with a lot of Black Americans. If you actually, I've been dealing with a lot of people from the UK. I've been dealing with a lot of people from the Black British from the UK. They contact me, and I've been dealing personally with more personally with them than Black Americans. I haven't been able to get along with a lot of the Black Americans unless they're older. Okay. Hello. Welcome to the channel. Please do me a favor and like, share, and subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe. We talking now, but at least like and subscribe. But I've been working with a lot of Black British, and with doing consultations with them and helping them set up businesses, trying to help them partner with locals. So I'm looking into getting a network of locals for those who are foreigners and they want to do business and they need a trusted local. I want to have a directory of locals that are trusted, that kind of been screened. I can't personally screen all of them, because when you screen them, meaning you have to spend time with them and watch them and all that. But I'm trying to find some local ones that I can trust, that if you want to do business, I can partner you with a local, because you're going to need a local to do business with. It's no way around it, because even if you have a foreign company that's
without a local, you still have to have a local on your board of directors. You still have to have a local that represents your business in this country. So you might as well partner with one. When I say partner, when you do business, they have 51% of the shares and you have 49%. That's not revenue, assets, and income. It's just the shares in the company. But when you have it set up that way, nobody can rob anybody. Nobody can steal and take, in terms of the business. So if you buy land under the business, if you buy a car, a Bajaji, a motorcycle, or whatever you buy under the business, a business asset, nobody can sell anything unless it's at 100%. So your assets are secured under a business that's legally registered, and it has to be, the local has to have one more share than you, or two more. 51%, you have 49%. In order for it to be considered a local business, you want the business to be considered a local business, because you want all the benefits of it being a local business, local prices for stuff, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then you have your local partner will be over, like a manager or whatever, to, if you hire locals, he'll be the one screening and hiring the locals for you, and like that manager over your employees. So something like that. You're the CEO, you control operations, but you're going to have like a local manager, a project manager. You're going to have, that oversee your employees if you, hire employees and stuff like that. So you have to have it set up like that in this country, because you don't know the language. And even if you learn the language, you have to have a local to communicate for you, to go to the business offices, go to the tax ID offices, to go to the Department of Revenue, to do all these things, to negotiate for large ticket items for you. You need a local. So I'm working on like a directory of locals. So when people consult me and they want to do business and they want a trusted local, then I can help them with that. So that's kind of what I'm encouraging for us to partner with locals. Well, there are a lot, Black centric, there are a lot of groups out there. They have I'm not a group person. I did that when I first got here. We created the largest repack group here in Tanzania. It was me and two other ladies. It was over 300. This was in 2020. It was like over 300 families in that group. There's a lot of us here, a lot of us that have come, but a lot of us have left, but more coming back. So it's like now it's more of in and out, because when they realize they can't stay, because it's hard to get a permit here. It's not impossible, but you have to have a reason for being here. Like you have to either be doing business, you have to, you might have children, you want to put them in a school, a student visa. You can get that for your family. It's different permits, income-based permit, or retirement permit. It's different permits that you can get. And a lot of people don't qualify for some of them. That's why I always, especially if they're not retirement age, if they're younger. So I always recommend creating a business, because then you can get a work permit and residency under your business. And that would be a cheaper permit to get versus you trying to get a residency permit and you don't have a business. You're going to pay a higher price. But if you have a business, especially a local business, then you can get a work permit and residency. Black centric, you know yourself that Black people is different from other people. We have the hardest time working together, the most difficult time working together. But I mean, for example, in Tanzania, I don't know if you know, but there are people doing eco villages, right? And one of the people, nobody can find him. And then it's another group that people, they have issues with this. And this is an example of us trying to work together. Like, I am a solo type of person. I prefer to work by myself, because from the experience of working with other Black Americans on a small scale, it haven't worked out, because the attitudes, the pride, it's not, we have a difficult time working together. So what I'm recommending is do your own little thing. We stay in contact. And when you do your thing, I do my thing, they do their thing. That's a network. We connected. We can say, oh, let's take this one day and get together. Everybody get together this month at so-and-so's business. Let's get together this month. That's a community. So we don't necessarily have to deal with money with each other. That's a big problem when we try to mix money together. You know, it's been a difficult time, especially in Tanzania. Now I think they might be doing stuff like that in Ghana or other places, but us coming together, that's been difficult. We tried it many times here in Tanzania and it hasn't been successful. So we have to figure out something else. We have to figure out something else. So this is my only contribution to us trying to work together, coming together, is me sharing what I had done with other people, and then they can do the same thing that I did. And then we can constantly help people to have businesses, and then patronize those businesses together as a group. So that's the only community situation that I could see happening here in Tanzania, because it's a lot of us here. It is a small community of us here, but a lot of people leave, and then some people stay, and some people, and I'm noticing the more that are able to stay are the retired ones, the ones with income, not like retirement age, so they have that retirement income, or people who create businesses, and then sometimes the businesses don't always pan out, and so sometimes they shut down and then they leave. So it's been difficult here in Tanzania. I'm not even going to try to lie about it. It has been difficult, but I just happen to be able to manage since I've been here, and I'm not technically retirement age, but I'm early retirement age, so I'm close. So, but yeah. I wanted to just share that little tidbit. This is just for answering questions for those interested. I'll always say visit. It's a beautiful place. It's paradise. Like Tanzania has everything for everybody. If you like being by the water, you can. If you like the mountains, you can. If you have like the waterfalls, they have that. You like the cool weather, they got that. So it's like everything. Tanzania is a massive country. And they have a lot of little cities and different, places you can go if you don't like the heat. Dar is the hottest. And so it's hot in Dar, but I like the heat, so I'm in Dar. So, but yeah, it's a lot of opportunities if you can get that business set up. If you can get that work permit, you can get that residency, then you can stay. And then you just have to be resilient in your business, trying to keep fresh and trying to do business in a country where you cater to the locals and not only to diaspora, not only to people from the West, because the Western market is not consistent. People might be here and then they're gone because they can't stay. So you can't base your target market on people who you don't know if they're going to be staying here or not. So unless you got money like that, some of the foreigners, some of them have the big time company. They have money like the China, all of them, so they don't have to. They can focus on market to whoever, but they do tend to market to locals. And so that's one thing that we have to do if we want to do business. And you have to market to the locals. You have to sell something that the locals will buy because it's more of them than us. So even though they don't have as much, money. They may not be able to spend a whole lot, but they can spend a little. So for what you sell, if you can cater to a local, it may be a little, but it's a lot of people spending a little and it adds up. So we have to look for business ideas that cater to locals, local Tanzanians as well as diaspora. So yeah, but anyway, I'm going to end the stream. I just want to do this live stream and just chit chat about business and ideas here in Tanzania and how things have to go here. You don't, hear about horror stories here in terms of, people getting, hurt here. But, you do have petty theft. And that's everywhere. You have petty theft, and you have to be careful with your flashiness. Yeah, Black centric, they have that. Yeah, they do have that in Ghana, but also the country announced that they're welcoming us back. You ain't getting that from Tanzania. They not they're not on that with us. And I say, and someone else corrected me, but based on my experience, I'm no expert. You can do research, but based on what I have seen in my experience, this appears to be more of um, a Muslim controlled country. I feel like the Muslims control, or Arab, the Arab people control the money in this country. Because like one of the richest men in Tanzania, he's like he looks like Arabic, and so it seems like the Arabic Muslim control a lot of the way things are here. So they're not gonna welcome us back, even though you see African faces. But yeah, those Muslims, yeah, they're not though. The Arabs, I ain't gonna say Muslims, but the Arabs, they're not gonna welcome us back. I mean, you got to know that the Arabs took us in slavery before the Mzungus did, the white people. So that should be enough. You know, they got a slave port here in Bagamoyo, and they got the slave port there in Zanzibar, Prison Island. So yeah, the Arabs took us in slavery first here in East Africa before even the Mzungus did. So yeah, we're not gonna get that welcome. That's it. We just not here. We just not gonna get it. So we got to be okay with not getting that. We got to do what, if you want to come here now, if you don't want to, then you can go to another country. But if you want to come to Tanzania specifically, you have to find your own way. You have to make a way for yourself. And whether we work together or not, if you want to stay here, you have to figure something out for yourself, which is what I'm doing, which is what I did. So not that we can't connect and keep, stay in touch and try to do business together. But whether we do business together or not, if you decide to stay, you have to have something set up for yourself. Yes, yes. And so here in Tanzania, you have the Christians and you have the Muslims. So, yeah, the Arab people, they have the money here. Like in Zanzibar, that's primarily Muslim in Zanzibar, and it's beautiful. But they're not welcoming us. Just know that they're not welcoming us, and we got to be all right with that. Everybody ain't gonna welcome us. That's all right. We do what we got to do. Like we have here in Tanzania, we can't expect somebody to give us or do something for us. Whether we deserve it or not, we do. But if you want to stay, you got to make your own way. You got to create a business for yourself, then buy your land. Like, do for yourself. Don't expect nobody to be welcoming you and all that, because there's people here that don't see you as it's, on a continent that's all throughout Africa. It's Africans that don't see us like themselves. They don't know our history, and they just see us as foreigners. So we got to be all right with that. So if I cry every time somebody thought that about me, I mean, I wouldn't be here. If I can't fall apart and be devastated because a local don't see me like themselves. They don't see me as an African. Like, I can't fall apart because of that. It's like either you with me or you ain't. That's how I see it. Either you for me or you ain't. If you're not for me, then peace, deuces. I mean, I'm moving on. Like, same thing in America. Everybody in America ain't for you. You got some people that's wishing you well and they're for you. And we the same. You know what I'm saying? But then you got people that's, not happy for you, not wishing you well. They ain't for you. So what your attitude is towards them, it's like, okay, peace. I'm gonna keep moving forward and doing what I want to do, or what I need to do, or what I'm called to do, whether you with me or not, whether you backing me or not, whether you support me or not. That's the same attitude you gotta have here. That's why I'm happy here. Like I love it here. Yeah, yeah, that's true, Black centric. You have to consider that influence is big. But one thing I do notice about when it comes to the Muslim influence, one thing I did notice is with the Arab people that I have experience with, they don't discriminate when it comes to that. They treat us the same, which, you know, they don't see us and be like, I'm gonna charge you more because you're speaking English. That's one thing I haven't noticed with them. They will charge, they do us the same. They treat us the same as they would do a local. So what the local would pay, you might, every now and then you might find one, but from what I have experienced, a lot of the Arabs, they own the expensive companies, some of the bigger companies. And when you go in there, the price is set. So it's not like the Arabs are charging you more. It's like, it's weird because I've noticed that the locals, like the local Africans, will charge us as Africans. We Africans in the diaspora. I noticed that the local Africans will charge us more, higher price, which I know it's because they're lower income than some of the Arab people, or most of the Arab people. I get that, but they'll charge us more, a higher price than a Muslim will. Not a Muslim, an Arab will. So an Arab will could charge us the same price all the way across. Oh, thank you, Black Centric. Whatever, even $20. $20 a week is my grocery, is what I pay for groceries. So it's cheap, but anything will bless me. And if you do PayPal, Black Centric, make sure you don't do make sure you don't do a business. Make sure you do friends and family, because when people pay me on PayPal and they do the business part, PayPal get a larger portion of that money than if you did family and friends. So if you send me money on PayPal, make sure it's through family and friends. And I put my PayPal information up in the chat already, but make sure you do family and friends. Don't do the business part, because I notice when they do that, they take more money and they hold it longer. So friends and family through PayPal. Thank you so much for tuning in. But what I was saying is, I noticed that the Arabs are more fair with us as foreigners than some of the local African people, if that makes sense. So I noticed that. Yeah, friends and family, instead of I think they have that option of pay a business or something. And when people do that, first of all, they take more out, and then they hold that money for 15 days or some astronomical amount of days. So I've been saying I was going to make sure I tell people friends and family on PayPal, not the business part of it. Even when they do consultations with me and they want to pay through PayPal, I'm starting to tell them now friends and family instead of that business, because they even take more. So PayPal is a trip. But anyway, thank you for tuning in. I wanted to share these little tidbits. I was trying to think of any other tidbits, but yeah, the Arabs are more fair to us, and they seem a little bit more impressed with us. It's kind of weird. I don't know why. Being, I guess, a Black person out from a foreign Black person, a foreign African outside coming in, they have a kind of a hidden respect for us. It's hard to say, but I'm noticing that how they treat me when I deal with Arabs here. They treat me really respectful every now and then. Hey, Seneca, welcome. I noticed that when I deal with Arabs here, they show me a level of respect. It's different. And even if they don't care for me, they just, they show me respect. I don't know. I can feel their admiration. So if they help me, like when I go to the store, if I have a question, they be walking fast to try to help me. They be like, oh, okay. They just have a different, I don't know. They have a certain respect level for us that I noticed. Now, I have heard some Black Americans say they had some issues with some Arabs in some of these stores, and then they had to be like, it's my money, I'm leaving or whatever. But they know that we're not from here. So they treat us differently. I think they treat us kind of like at a higher, because we have, I know, because we're foreigners, we have the USD or the pounds or whatever. So they treat us at a higher level than they would a local here. I don't know why that is, but I noticed that. Like they be running when I have a question, the Arabs be running to answer my question. Yes, it will black centric, but also I feel like the Most High is going to have a big hand in getting us on code, because remember he has to weed out the rebels. He has to weed out the rebels. There's a lot of rebels still that's rebellious, and then they full of pride and rebellious. They don't want to. Everybody want to be the boss. That's another thing about us as Black people. Everybody want to be the boss. Don't nobody want to submit, especially with a lot of the men. Like if it's one man that's over something, you got other men challenging him. I'm the elder. I should be this and this and that. And that is true. Elders should be. But if the younger person is doing something and the elder comes along and say, I'm an elder, I should be, the younger person is not going to allow that elder to take their place. And it's a lot of that going on. And so it's a mess. It is a mess. Yeah, it's a mess. So, but when we get on code with each other, then things will be a lot better. But it seems like it's going to take the Most High to really do something miraculous. Interesting booking consultation with you. Okay, so I have somebody, y'all, sending me a message real quick on 1 second on Instagram. I wanted to answer the question real quick. Greetings. Okay, I was telling this person I'm on a live on YouTube right now, but I'll get back with them. Y'all type slow, my bad, y'all. I'm not a fast typer like these young people be like. But anyway, so yeah, I noticed that about the Arabs here. So it's been kind of pleasant dealing with them. When I brought my stove, my refrigerator, and my refrigerator, and my washing machine, I went to the market, and I was working with, when I was looking for my appliances, I went and brought from an Arab man. And when I was in there and I was just asking questions, I didn't even have to get, hey, Dawn, welcome. Yeah, the power. Yeah, the power was out. It went out twice. No, I'm just doing a question and answer. I was just talking about my experience working with the Arabs here in Tanzania has been really good, because they actually treat us very respectful. I was kind of surprised. Like, so I was saying I brought my refrigerator, stove, and washing machine when I brought it. When I first got here back in 21, I moved in my place. And when I brought my appliances, I brought them from an Arab man. And I was asking questions. I didn't even have to get my Tanzanian to speak for me. Most of the Arabs speak English. They understand English. So I was able to talk to them. And they, like I said, they own a lot of the high-end stores. So he was at the market. He was at Kiriakou. That's one of the biggest markets here, the biggest market here. And I went down there, and I was asking him about my appliances. Yeah, Black centric. That's true. So I was asking this Arab man about my appliances. And so I didn't even have to use my local partner to speak Swahili, because they know English. So I was asking him myself. Okay, I was telling him what I want. I wanted 2 burner. I wanted this. I wanted that. And so I communicated with him about all my stuff. He was telling me about the prices. And I was like, well, do you have anything less than that? Like, I was able to negotiate myself with this Arab man. And whenever he was helping me, every time he was going by me, he was saying samahani. And at the time, I didn't know what samahani meant. That means excuse me. And every time he went past me, he was like, samahani, samahani. So I asked my local partner, my local friend that was with me, I was like, what is he saying? And so he was like, he's saying, excuse me, excuse me. So every time he walked past me, he was like, samahani, samahani. That's how I learned that word. That means excuse me. And so I was like, wow, that was very respectful. But this was the Arab man. Yeah, I was about to buy a washing machine, a refrigerator, and a stove from him. I got all 3 of my appliances from him. I felt like the prices were good, but then at the time I was new here, so I didn't really know all the prices. So he probably upcharged me a little bit, but I felt like it was a good deal what I paid. And I never got that type of respect, like the service that he gave me. Yeah, you taught yourself a little Swahili. Well, I was teaching myself too, and I've been teaching myself since I've been here. I don't know as much as I think I should. Been here 4 years, because when I tell people I've been here so long, they start trying to talk to me in Swahili, and I'll be like, Kidogo. Like, that's little Swahili. I'm still saying that because I learned at my own pace. I'm not taking no classes. I'm not spending no money, and I don't have time to be sitting with nobody teaching me that. I learn as I'm out and about. That's how I remember it. I have memory. My memory is better when I repetitive stuff. So when I keep saying it over and over and over, I remember it. So I have to keep saying that same whatever I'm learning. I have to keep using it, and that's how I remember it. So I don't need for me to sit down and take no tests and write stuff, because I'm not gonna remember that. I learn better hands on. So he was so polite to me, y'all. But anyway, in every experience I've had with Arabs in purchasing like large items, they have always been very respectful, very polite, especially the men. Now the women, they don't, they don't be, how it is with women, y'all. Women everywhere, they don't be as nice, but the men they be helpful. And a lot of the Arab women don't work anyway. Every now and then you might go to like a store in the mall and they'll be in there. But they usually be sitting around and stuff watching, the local ladies. But yeah, I've noticed that a level of respect that we get from the Arabs here. And I feel like they kind of know who we are. I know they know who we are. They know they took us into slavery first. They know the atrocities that their ancestors did to us. So they have a level of respect. And it's crazy, because you should have that going on in the U.S. too. A lot of these Mzungus, they know what their ancestors did to us. They may not have had slaves, but they know what their ancestors did to us. So you would think that they would respect us or act different towards us because of what their ancestors did. But it's not enough for you to say you didn't have slaves and you didn't do all these atrocities to Black people, but you benefiting from it, and you still racist, and you still talking about us and mistreating us and even killing us. So you just as evil as your ancestors, because you are perpetuating the evil wickedness that your ancestors did to us. But here in Tanzania, the Arabs don't act like that. They know we got the money, and they all about the money, and they're nice. Like when I go to Shoppers, if I ask any of them anything, they be on it. They don't be dragging their feet. They be on it. You go to their restaurants, they be on it. So I like living around them. I'm not gonna lie. I like living around Arabs because they don't bother us. They don't bother us. They don't upcharge us. They're very respectful, and even in our face, like behind our back, you don't know what people saying. But to me, is if you're respectful in my face, I could deal with you. If I have to deal with you, I'm going to your restaurants and I'm purchasing from your items. The least you can do is be nice and respectful and not try to get over on me. And that's what they do. Like the Arabs here, they nice. I haven't had any problems with Arabs here. None. They've been nice, very nice. So yeah, it's funny, but I don't know why I'm talking about that, but that's been my experience here in Tanzania. The Arabs you don't have to worry. They're very clean, very clean. They are immaculate. If you go to their restaurants, they're going to have toilet tissue. They're going to have a toilet seat They don't have the most of their businesses have a regular toilet seat. Most of them can speak English, very clean, immaculate, always got tissue, always got soap. I'm telling you, they know the Arabs here, they know what we like because they are very immaculate. The sprayer that they have here, those sprayers on the toilets, that comes from them because they're clean like that. They use those, that's them. That they brought that here. Because if you look at Ghana don't have those sprayers. And they need those sprayers. But Ghana and some of these other African countries, they don't have the sprayers to keep it's like the thing in the toilet seat. A lot of people don't use them, but in the toilets, they have this sprayer. It's like a mini hose. That's what it reminds me of, something like that. But they use it to keep clean. So you can spray, if you go, you can spray your seat off. You can spray like it's clean. It's water. And then when you use the restroom, you can spray yourself. And so I love those things. That's one thing that the U.S. don't have that I really like. I guess you can call it a bidet. I don't know, but I really like those. They keep you really clean. So, but yeah, I don't have anything bad to say. I still love Tanzania. I've been here for 4 years. It's not perfect. It's growing. It's improving. A bidet. Yes, Seneca, the bidet. I love those things. Yeah. Those sprayers, the bidet, I call it sprayer. It's so clean. Like, I love those things. Like, you just feel so clean. It's like you bathing. Every time you use the restroom, you bathing. It's not just wiping. And you don't realize how nice it is until you get here and you start using it. I know a lot of people that are here, a lot of the sisters, they're like, I don't use it because I don't know how to use it. But once you learn how to use it, you will not be the same. I love them. I love those things. But but I have nothing bad to say. Yes, it is hard to stay. The permits are challenging. Yes, you can get overcharged. Yes, you can get taken advantage of, but you can get petty theft, you can get robbed, all that stuff. But for the most part, 3 things that I feel here, 3 things that are major that I didn't feel in the US. These 3 things are major: safety, freedom, and peace. Those 3 things I did not feel in America. Safety, freedom, and peace. Those are the 3 things that I feel here. Those are the 3 things that I value a lot, especially at my age. I don't want to live without those 3 things. I may not have a lot of money. I may not be rich and have a lot of money. The money, you can make the money over there in the West. But what's the purpose or use of you making? Like me, before I left America, I had a job. I was making $40,000 a year. So that's great. That's great money. That's great money. And I actually left that money to live here. I could have went back and still been making that money, but I wanted peace, I wanted safety, and I wanted freedom. I didn't realize I wanted freedom, to be honest. I knew I wanted peace and I wanted safety. I didn't feel peace and I didn't feel safety in America. I thought I felt freedom. I thought I was free. But when I came here to Tanzania, I started feeling the real feeling of freedom. I didn't realize that I didn't feel freedom in America. When you're over there, you don't realize what you don't feel. You don't realize these things when you're living in it, because you're in like a rat race. So you're on a schedule, work, come home, cook, take care of the kids, go to the gym or whatever. You're on like a schedule, right? So your life is on like a wheel. You're on a wheel, and then the weekends is like your freedom. Maybe if you don't work on the weekend, some people work, but if you have 2 days off, those are your freedom days, right? To do certain things, but they go so fast. But when you over here, it's totally different, especially if that financial trap is it. So I had to make a decision. Do you go back? You making that $40,000 a year, you making good money, right? But your bills are high. Like my bills were high. I didn't even own a house, y'all. My rent was like $1,050. My rent. And I didn't even have a house. I'm paying just giving my money for rent. And then my bills, all my bills, I had a car note, I had insurance, like all my bills. So that money that I made, it was ate up a lot in my bills. I had a little bit of disposable income to enjoy my life, but not a lot, because I had to buy groceries, I had to pay my utilities, So the most enjoyment that I could have was at home cooking a nice meal and maybe watching TV. But trying to enjoy activities like movies or doing other stuff, that stuff was expensive. So it adds up. So you can't do that all the time. And so even though I was making good money, I still wasn't living a good life as far as like, just my value of my life. So when I moved here and when I visited, that's when I started feeling it. I felt safe because I didn't feel safe in America. Never felt safe. I had peace. I didn't have peace in America because I always feel anxiety. So whenever I go out, I feel anxiety, like, is somebody following me because I'm Black? Or is somebody, do I got somebody watching me? Or is somebody going to try to harass me, or some white person going to try to argue with me? Like, I always felt, I didn't feel peace. I felt anxiety every time I stepped outside. In the house, I felt peace, but you can only stay in your house so long. You got enough food to last you a few days. You in your house, but you got to work. So whenever I go outside, I got to go to the gas station. I got to go to work. Got to go to lunch. Like, I'm always anxiety at work. I'm constantly feeling anxiety. Is my boss gonna call me in the office and say I messed up something, or get a write-up, or because they be watching you like a hawk at work. You can't make one mistake. Like, you're not human. I'm a superwoman. Like, I can't make no mistakes at work, or I'm gonna be written up. I'm gonna be threatened every day. I'm threatened. I feel threatened, like I'm gonna lose my job. Like, I had no peace. That's just the bottom line, y'all. I didn't have peace. I didn't feel freedom. And so when I got here, that was my first taste of feeling freedom. I know my second, because when I went to Ghana, I stayed in Ghana for 2 weeks and I felt freedom. I actually felt like I wasn't controlled. Nobody owned me. When I say freedom, meaning nobody don't own me. I'm on my own time. I sleep as long as I want. I eat what I want when I want to eat it. I go where I want. Like, that's freedom. I felt that in Ghana for 2 weeks because I was there for 2 weeks. I felt freedom. So I'm in this beautiful environment. Nobody's telling me, be at work at this time. You late, you this. Like, nobody's like lording over me. I felt freedom. I wanted that freedom. Yes, I wanted that freedom, Black Centric. I wanted it. And I said, this 2 weeks in Ghana, I didn't even want to leave Ghana. After 2 weeks, I felt like a child, like I wanted to cry when it was time for me to leave, because I felt true freedom. And I'm like, man, I actually feel free. Like, I'm on my own time. I got a clock in, nobody clocking, nobody telling me you late for work. If you don't get here, you're going to get fired. Like, I didn't have none of that. So when I came to Tanzania, I like Tanzania better than Ghana. Thank you, Seneca. I love Tanzania so much better than Ghana. Ghana was beautiful now, but Tanzania for me is cleaner. It was cleaner than Ghana, and the atmosphere felt different. It's like the spirit here it feels different than how I felt in Ghana. Ghana was beautiful, but Ghana's a little bit more fast paced. Tanzania is more slow. So it was more of a relaxing vibe. So this place made me feel more at peace. So I felt peace, of course, safety, like don't nobody bother you. You gotta, safety as far as getting pickpocketed. You can't be walking around with diamond rings and necklaces, and you being flashy. You don't want to be flashy to draw attention to yourself. But other than that, you feel safe. You have peace. Just this environment is peaceful. So that's a given. And then the freedom. Being here, I haven't worked a job, y'all, since December of 2020. I quit my job. Actually, I haven't worked a job since July of 2020 because I was on vacation. I left my job to come on vacation. And then from then on, I quit in December of 2020. So I haven't worked a physical job since July of 2020, the first week in July of 2020, because I got here the second week. No, June. I haven't worked a job since May. I haven't worked a job since May. I haven't worked a job. I left my job May, the last week in May. So I haven't worked a physical job since May, right? So I haven't worked since then. And when I say I feel free, I feel free. Yeah, I don't make the money. I miss the money, but not that much. If I had to weigh my options, I prefer feeling safe, having peace and freedom over the money. And yeah, it's been kind of tight here. So I don't always have abundance of money here. Little amounts, make a difference here. But I don't have money like I did when I was in the West. But then again, my bills. So I think it balances out. So I have everything I need. I don't always have everything I want, but I have everything I need. The food is cheap, so I can always get my grocery bill is like maybe $25 a week. I don't eat meat as much as I used to. So maybe if I ate meat more, my bill will probably be more because I don't buy meat. Every now and then, if I crave meat, it'll be like I might go out and get like fish or, a burger or something like that. But for the most part, I don't eat meat. Mainly my diet is vegetables mainly and starches and bread is what I mainly eat. Possibly because of it's cheaper. And fruit and vegetables is plenteous. So you can get fruit stands everywhere. So my diet has been more of that, not so much meat because meat is more expensive. And so even though my income is not as much, but my quality of life is better, especially at my age. I'm older, so middle age, that's what 40 and up. I'm older because I'm not retirement age yet, but I'm like early retirement age. So my quality of life since I've been here 4 years has been way better. And I stopped eating meat, y'all, but I gained 15 pounds since I've been here. I came here, I was 125. I'm like 135. So I gained, like 10 pounds, give or take 10 pounds, 14, something like that. And I stopped eating meat. But I know it has something to do with my peace, my safety, and my freedom. Because when you have anxiety, that affects your health. And it could affect, for me, I've always been a slender person, but when I have a lot of anxiety, I'm like underweight. So I'm already naturally slim, but it's hard for me to gain weight if I'm under anxiety. But because I've been at peace for the last 4 years, I've been at peace, I feel safe, and I have freedom, then I can comfortably, it's like now my body is like gaining weight. And I know maybe it's because of my age too, but I gained weight and I stopped eating meat. So I was like, go figure. Yeah. So I know that the food that I eat is very, very much more nutritious than in America too. So that could have something to do with it because, we eat the organic food here. We have all the fruits and vegetables and they're all like natural. So that my body is holding on to that food better, I would assume. But I do feel happier. I feel more at peace. I don't feel that anxiety feeling. You know how when you feel anxiety, you feel, like that scared, nervous feeling in your heart, in your chest. You feel that, like that shaky nervousness. I used to feel that all the time, but now, thank you, Black Centric. I think that's you, but thank you so much. But I don't feel that anxiety in my heart that I used to feel in America. When I'm here, I literally feel safe. I don't feel scared. I don't feel like somebody might shoot me. I don't feel like white supremacy. That white supremacy used to really Seneca, that white supremacy, y'all, used to really get to me. Because I lived in Colorado, remember, before I came here. I don't know if y'all know, but I lived in Colorado Springs before I came here. And Colorado was a very peaceful country, state. Colorado Springs was a very peaceful state. Colorado itself is peaceful. They don't have a lot of racism from what I noticed, not outwardly anyway, but it's a lot of white people there. It's not that many black. Yeah, Black Centric, I just saw it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hey, that's a week worth of food. Thank you. Thank you so much. Blessings to you, brother. Blessings. But when I lived in Colorado, y'all, it was a lot of white people and not that many blacks. That's like a military state. You know, the what you call it, the Fort Carson is there, the military bases, and all that is in Colorado. That's where a lot of the military come and train. All the, you know, army bases and stuff is in Colorado. So it's a lot of military there. Most of the black people that are in Colorado are prior military or military. So it's not a lot of us, but it's a lot of Mzungus, a lot of white people. And I never had, it's funny because I was born in Newark, New Jersey on the East Coast, lived in Atlanta almost all my adult life. And, you know, down South, it's a lot, that racism is off the chain down South. And then the Midwest, which is Colorado, and they didn't hardly have, I didn't have no issues with racism really in Colorado, but they was all around me. So I was paranoid. Living in the South, y'all, when you move from up north, from New Jersey, you know, New Jersey, that's all black. Like, well, I was raised in an all black area in Newark, but you had like Dominicans, you have foreigners up there. You have a lot of Africans, you have a lot of Haitians, you have a lot of Dominicans. So it's like kind of like more of a melting pot in Newark. So I'm used to seeing other people. Yes, Colorado is, yeah. So then I moved to Atlanta. And in Atlanta, everything is black and white. Everybody see, you know, it's so much racism in the southern part of America that I started seeing everything in black and white. When I first got down South, I didn't look at things like that because I wasn't around white people like that. But then down South, they so racist. I was, you know, visiting Alabama and different Mississippi and stuff, and everybody's so racist. Everything is black and white. So I got scary. I started being like scary in my I was a scary person. I was scared of white people, like, because they were so evil in the South. So you go from Newark, I'm not experiencing none of that. And then I wasn't around white people. Then I get experience all in Atlanta with these white people that's evil. Then I go to Colorado and it's a lot of white people, but they not like the ones down South. They not evil like that. They don't bother you. They more, the ones in Colorado are more like Bible Belt type. They're like evangelicals. So it's like, they say Oklahoma, they say that's the Bible Belt, right? So it's a lot of us, you know, Christian evangelicals. So they don't really be bothering the black people. They be doing their own little church stuff. So they didn't bother us, but I was paranoid. By that point, y'all, I'm paranoid of white people. They so nice and everything, but I just don't trust them because I got tainted when I lived in Atlanta. When I was down South, I was up and down North Carolina, South Carolina, Mississippi, Alabama. They were so racist. I was just paranoid. Like I had a phobia, like of them. I didn't trust them. I was so paranoid. My son used to be like, "Mama, I'm okay." I'd be so scared for him. I'm like, Tonio, don't be going no place by yourself with all these white people. I didn't want you. Like, I had my son. Like, my son is 26, and his life in Colorado was like, I was paranoid. I was so scared for him to go anywhere without black people. And ain't no white people in Colorado. So yeah, it was, I was just broken. So when I came to Africa, I needed healing, y'all. I needed, my mind and my heart was broken. I was scary. I was scared of everything. So when I came here to Colorado, when I came here to Tanzania, I got time to heal. So I would go to the beach like a lot. I was right by the beach and walking distance. So I would go to the beach like every other day. And I would just sit at the beach and listen to like the water and the wind and sit in the sand. I would take my speaker, and that was healing for me to get out the sphere. It's like PTSD, post-traumatic slave syndrome, PTSS, post-traumatic slave syndrome is what I was going through. afraid of these white people. And they will be, some of them will be nice, but I just didn't trust them. I was like, they ain't gonna kill me. They ain't gonna take me off somewhere and chop me up. They ain't gonna, like, I was, y'all, I was paranoid. And they still do that today. And it don't help that when I see these things with our men getting shot and being hung from trees and disappearing, like, it just made my paranoia worse. And so the best thing for me to do was to come to Tanzania, because Tanzania has basically, I feel like Tanzania saved me. Being here, it saved me. It saved my mental. It saved my body, my health. I was healthy, but being under anxiety for that long, I feel like it could have had an effect on my health. Yeah. Yes, Dawn. So I really feel like coming to Tanzania actually saved my life. It saved my health. It saved my mental. It saved my heart. And now that I'm here in peace, that I can spend time with the Father. You know, I call the Most High, the uncreated creator, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I can spend time with him and actually hear his voice, because he would speak to me in America and I would hear him. How he speaks to me is like in my spirit. I used to say in my heart, but that's your spirit. It's inside, like here. I would hear him speak to me here. It's weird. So not in my ears, but in my heart, I could hear him speak to me in my heart. It's hard to explain, but I would hear him speak to me, but it would be a struggle for me to, I would have to be like, is that you, Father? Like it would be hard because I have so much going on in my life. Like my mind was constantly in an upheaval. Like my life was in an upheaval. My emotions were up and down. So when your emotions are like up and down, and then you have a lot going on in your mind, it's hard to hear the Father when he speaks to you because you have too much going on. A lot of times you have to sit still and get away from like everything and be in a place where you're at peace and everything is quiet. Your mind is quiet. Your heart is quiet. And then you can hear him because he's actually speaking to us a lot, but we can't always hear it because we're moving around too much. So I noticed that's why a lot of people get dreams. Like the Most High or our Father, he speaks to a lot of people through visions and dreams. So when you sleep, that's like the most peaceful state that you're at. Your mind is not going around. Your heart is not, anxiety is not everywhere. So when you sleep, you're like actually at peace. So then he can talk to you because you're level. Your mind is not going crazy. You're not stimulated. Your stimulation is very low when you sleep. So then he can kind of get a message to you. Don't do this, go here. This, like he'll give you dreams about stuff. If he wants you to do something, he could probably get a message to you better when you're sleeping. Go, do this, go to try this job or build this house or talk to this person. Like he can actually get a message to you because you're at peace. So that was me. It was harder for me to hear his voice in an environment like America because I'm highly stimulated between anxiety and stress and all kind of stuff. Now I'm here and I'm at like total peace. I feel safe. I feel free. And I have peace. So now he can speak to me and give me ideas. Oh, do this, do that. Oh, create this business. Oh, connect with this person. Oh, don't tell this. Don't do this. Like he can actually tell me what to do and I can hear him. And yes, you can get that when you fast and pray, but when you're in an environment where it's peaceful, you can fast and pray just to even get even closer to him, but you'll be more open to hear his voice. And not only when you sleep, but when you're awake, because you're at peace. You don't have no drama. You don't have nothing distracting you. So he can actually get a word in edgewise and you can actually hear him better. So that's what I noticed with my life, just being here. So I feel like the benefits of living here for 4 years have outweighed the pros outweigh the cons of being here. The biggest con is money. But if you're able to trust the Father, and if you're able to push through that desire for the money over your peace, then you can make it. But if money is really high for you, and it's more important than anything, then it's going to be a struggle for you to be in any African country, to be honest, unless you have that income coming in. But if you're trusting the Father and walking by faith, like a lot of us do who are here, it's going to be difficult for you to be in a country and be broke, or not always knowing when your money is going to come in, what date. Like, we're used to knowing when we get paid. Like me, living in the West, I'm used to knowing, okay, I get paid every 2 weeks, or I get paid once a week. So when you know you get paid, you can plan out your life. You can plan out your bills. You can plan out your grocery list, or this or that. I've always lived on a budget. But when you live in by faith and you out here like that, and you have a business, but you don't know when you're going to get a consultation. You don't know when your income is coming in or whatever. So you kind of living by faith. You really are. So you just praying and trusting the Father that he'll send the clients to you. He'll send he'll make the connections where you can do, like I do. I have referral fees too. So if I refer a customer to somebody for a service here, I talk to them and they'll do a referral fee with me. So of course it ain't a lot because it's in a local currency, but it's still a referral fee. It's still income coming in. Anything is better than nothing. It might just be 10,000 T shillings. That's $5. But if I get that for referring somebody, then that's groceries, that's fruits, that's vegetables, So the little makes a difference in terms of like your bills, your food, your electricity, all that stuff is not that expensive. So those little funds that you get can pay those things. So that's how I've been able to kind of manage here for 4 years and stretch the money that I do get. So that $60 can go a long way here towards 2.5 consultations is my rent. My rent is $200 a month. So, so you can stretch your, business money that you get. You have to stretch it. You got to know how to budget and stretch your money. It helps if you can have a rental where you can rent out a room, or if you have a place you can rent out your place. You can get a place here, get 2 places, get one place to rent out, one place you stay in. What I did was I always had an extra room. I've always had a place with 2 bedrooms. So when I got my first place, I had 2 bedrooms, so I rent the room out. You can rent the room out, and that you don't have to charge an astronomical amount of money. You don't have to charge. Some people do. They rent their room out for like a US price. For me, I try to stick with local prices. So if I rent a room out, it's going to be what I pay. It's not going to be what we pay in the United States. So for example, I have an extra room. If I rent a room out for like a month, I'll charge $200 for that room for the month, because that's me. It's not everybody. You choose what you want to. A lot of people will rent their extra room out for like a US price. So double what their rent is or triple. A lot of people do that. Me personally, I have a conscience. So I would not charge somebody more than what I pay for my rent. I just feel funny. Other people do it, but it's just me. So yeah, so that's what I would do. Or sometimes I'll charge like $10 a day if I rent my room out. If I decide to rent my extra room out, if they want it for a whole month, it'll be like $200 a month. If they want it for a few days, it'll be $10 a day. That's what I do. And when I rent a room out, that extra room has a bathroom of their own, because I got 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. They'll have a bathroom of their own, and it'll be like a bed and breakfast. So they have access to everything in here: my dining room table, the couch, the dishes, everything. They can use everything. The pots, the stove, the washing machine, the fridge, they use everything. So it's like kind of like a bed and breakfast. But it will, of course, it only will be for a woman. But stuff like that. It's ways that, and that's how I make money. I rented out my extra room, which is how that helped me out a lot. So It's different things that you could do. You think you got to be creative. All these ideas the Father gave me. Hey, you could do this. Hey, you could do that. Hey, you could do this. Like I won't even be thinking about it. I don't even half time. I don't even be knowing how to manage. But the ideas will come to me at a point where I'm at peace and I'm relaxed and at peace. Then the ideas start coming to me. Hey, in business, you could do this. Why don't you reach out to so-and-so? Like I will hear voices like that. And I know it's the Father, the Spirit speaking to me. I know it's not me. How I know it's not me is because I never thought it's something that the ideas that come to me is something that I never thought about. That's how I know it's not me. I know when the Father is speaking to me because it's something that I would have never thought about, So from me creating a business for how to make money here, who to partner with, who not to deal with, like I would hear a voice that tells me. And actually, that's how I ended up moving to Africa, because I heard a voice back in Babylon, in America. I call America Babylon, Mystery Babylon. But in America, I heard a voice that told me that I'm not from America, that I'm from Africa. I heard a voice that told me that. I know it wasn't me, because I wasn't even, at the time, I wasn't even thinking about anything like that. Like I was just living my life, and I heard a voice. And it's weird because it was during a time where I was worshiping the Father. I was at church. I was going to church at the time, and I was like one of the praise leaders in church. So I was on the stage worshiping, and it was during a time where people came to the altar. The pastor was like, "Come to the altar for prayer," and so we were like on the stage worshiping. And that's when the voice started talking to me, like in that midst where everybody was quiet and whatever. I was having a conversation, and the voice was telling me, you're not from America. And in my mind, I was like, well, yeah, right. Well, okay. Well, where am I from? That's what I was saying in my mind. Where am I from then? And the voice said, you're from Africa. And after that, I said, in my mind, I said, well, we're in Africa. I don't know nothing about Africa. And the voice shut up. No other words was said to me. And at that point, I went home and started online Googling and YouTubing Africa, about Africa, what the size of it. Like I started just researching everything to do with Africa. And then I was like thinking to myself, like, well, I need to go visit them. If I'm from Africa, I need to go at least visit. So that was in my mind. I need to visit, but I don't know where to begin. And I was saying that within myself, I don't know where to begin. Yes, then how do you find your apartments there? What made you choose TZ? When did you decide, and why did you decide to move to TZ? Did you listen immediately when you were told to leave? Wow, got a lot of questions. Okay, so I was in the middle of when I heard that about Africa, I start researching, and then I was saying in my spirit, I was thinking, I didn't say it out loud, but I was like saying, I don't know nothing about Africa. And then I started researching. I was online, I was on YouTube, like everybody else looking at Africa. I was just overwhelmed because I'm like, it's 54 countries. It was 54 countries in the continent of Africa. So I was like, where to begin? And so lo and behold, guess what? The year returned. This was in 2017 that I heard that voice about you're from Africa. And I know it was the Father who was telling me that. And then lo and behold, what popped up on my YouTube, the year return, everybody was making a big deal. The president said, welcome. And that's when I said, that's my opportunity to visit, because I didn't know where to begin. But everybody say that Ghana is the doorway for us diaspora back into the continent, which was the doorway that we left out of Africa. A lot of us left out of that door of no return. Well, that was the doorway for me personally to get into coming back to Africa, right, to visit. So I booked a trip. I asked everybody. Nobody wanted to visit. But anyway, let me get to your questions real quick. You said that about apartments. Now, apartments, they have a lot of them now online. Apartments, you have to, if they have a different apartments that you can go look at. But I recommend you do it when you get here. Don't do it online. When you come here, they all on Instagram. They got apartments for rent everywhere. It's Diaspora that got rental places, Airbnbs, hotels. You can do booking.com for hotels here. Everything, you can find all kind of places online, but you need to see them. So what I recommend people to do is book a hotel for like 2 days, just so you can rest, and then look for Airbnb. I wouldn't recommend you do it overseas, because you need to make sure that it's to standard. The Airbnb is not a standard like the Western countries. The Airbnb rooms here on the continent is not at the same standard as Western. So you can get an Airbnb that look like this, but when you get here, it's not the same place. So you need to get here and see. So, but they all on Instagram. They all advertising. We first got here in 2020, they wasn't, but since we've been here, they've been, it's growing. So they've been advertising, rental, Airbnbs, hotels, all kind of stuff on Instagram. Look on Instagram and they'll walk you through the house, walk you through the apartment. TZ, I chose TZ because I was going to go to South Africa. And I was telling my story about being first visit was Ghana. Year return, I booked a ticket. I was trying to ask my family. Nobody wanted to come. I asked my friends. Africa, everybody's like, Africa, we don't want to go. Oh, well. So I booked the ticket by myself. And it was a lady who was from North Carolina, a sister. And she did a tour. She visited the year before. And she said, I'm going to come back and do a tour. So she did a tour for Diaspora in America. And so a lot of women was booking with her. Because it was weird. There's a lot of women want to go, but I guess, they're just single women. And so we booked with her, and it was like 13 of us. And what we would do was whenever we booked with her, it was for 2 weeks. And she had the whole itinerary. We just had to get our own ticket. So we booked with her for 2 weeks, but we would do what you call that FaceTime. Every Sunday, we would every time somebody was adding to the group, we would say, oh, we got a new person that's coming on the tour with us. It ended up being 13 of us, and we would talk every Sunday on FaceTime so everybody could see each other. And by the time we met in Ghana, everybody knew each other. It was like we was all sisters because we had been talking on FaceTime. And so this is kind of how I went. First time I visit on the continent is when I went to Ghana. We stayed for 2 weeks with her tour company. I went through the slave dungeon castle, W.E.B. Du Bois house, in Nkrumah, his mausoleum. Like I did all that. And so now you asking, let me go back. I'm trying to answer all your questions always well. Okay, so I think I answered about the apartment. Decided to move to TZ. Did you listen immediately when you were told? Now, after I visited Ghana, right? I decided to book another trip to visit because I wanted to visit another country. So I booked a trip to South Africa. I said, I was in Ghana. I like it, but I want to go to South Africa because everybody talk about it. It's so modern, this and that. South Africa. So I booked my ticket. I got back from Ghana in August 2019, and I booked my ticket in October 2019 for South Africa for 2020. This was before COVID, right? But I booked it for May 2020. So I was going to go to South Africa and visit that. I was just going to visit different countries until I found the one that resonated with me. Well, lo and behold, COVID hit in 2020, always well. Then my flight got canceled because the country was closed. It was in May. And so everybody was talking about Tanzania, Magufuli, he ain't down with the pandemic. He ain't down. Everybody was talking about it. So that jumped out at me. I said, that's the only country open. I'm trying to go on my vacation. Especially now that it's COVID, I was like, I want to go on vacation because we at home anyway. And so I called the airline. It was with Qatar. I never forget Qatar. They call it Qatar, but Qatar. And I asked them, I said, can you change my flight from South Africa to Tanzania? Because that was the only country open. A lot of us came to Tanzania because it was the only country open during COVID. And that's how a lot of us got here. A lot of us that wanted to go to all these different countries on the continent, or almost a lot of the Black people want to go to Ghana. And they wanted to go to South Africa or other places, Gambia. So we all went to Tanzania because it's the only country open. So that's how I got here. to Tanzania. And I was like, I'll be by the airport. So when the airport opens, I could just go to South Africa. So I was going to change my return flight from America to South Africa. I was going to do that. But guess what? It never opened. It was still closed. You know, them countries was closed for like months. And so after being here, when it came time, okay, I stayed here 1 week. I had a 2-week, right? 2-week vacation. When I got to Tanzania, always well, I said, I ain't going back. I'm telling you, it was so beautiful here. And people was treating me, when I say they treated me good, I've never been treated as good as I was treated by the locals here. They treated me so good. Like they treated me like I was a queen. Like I'm not lying. Everything I needed, they was like, I don't know, they just treated me so special. My own family, y'all, did not treat me as special as these locals treated me. So I wasn't, I was like, you know what? I'm not leaving. I just said I'm not leaving because I just knew that the Father had told me that Africa was my home. And I was like, well, I didn't need nothing else. He said Africa was my home. What does that mean? Like, he ain't got to like, the Father didn't have to like spell it out. He told me America is not your home. Africa is your home. What else I needed? I was like, I'm staying. Because I was just trying to look for a country where I could live. And so Tanzania was like, oh yeah, I was like, I like it here. And besides, the country was, I was still waiting on South Africa and I was going to go visit. But when I got to Tanzania, I fell in love with it. And I was like, I ain't going back. 2 weeks went. By the time 2 weeks, okay, 1 week. And then the second week come, I was feeling anxiety because I was like, okay, I got to figure out what I'm going to do because my vacation almost over. So what I did was I was praying about it. And I was like, Father, I don't know what I'm going to say, but I'm not leaving. So he gave me the idea to actually somebody else gave me the idea when I was telling him about it. One of my girlfriends, she was like, just tell him you can't get back. And a lot of the countries was closed, right? So I called my job, but I could have went back because America was still open at the time. So and Tanzania was open. So I called my job. I was like, I'm in Tanzania. I'm out of the country. I can't get back. Is there any way I could work online? That's what I was asking him. Can I work online? Because I was working online at home anyway. And so my job was like, well, since COVID, we'll give you a sabbatical. They was giving people sabbaticals. So I got a sabbatical for 3 months. 3 months. But that means that when they gave me the sabbatical, that means my pay got cut down to 60%. My pay got cut 60%, which was fine with me because it's cheaper here. So I ended up getting full pay for those 2 weeks. And then I started getting 60% of my pay for 3 months. So I was just saving that money. And then after 3 months, I called them back again. Let's see, July, August, September. I called them back again and they gave me another sabbatical for 3 months. So after that second sabbatical, I tried to call them back again and they said, oh, thank you, Black Centric. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you so much. But so after I called them after the second sabbatical and I tried to say it again and they was like, They was like, you need to come back. Either you come back or if you don't come back, then we'll fire you. And so I said, well, I quit. So I ended up quitting. And I did not realize this, y'all. I did not realize this, but after I quit, I had money saved, but I was like, what am I gonna do for money? What am I gonna do for income? So I was trying to think, maybe I should try to find an online job. I had my computer, so I had bought a new computer. I had an iPad, but I had bought a brand new Dell computer. So I was trying to find online jobs. And then I don't know, I feel like this was the Most High. I would say the Most High, his spirit was like, you got a 401k. Like that. I forgot about it. And so I called them back. I said, I quit. So what do I do with my 401k? And they said to me, do you want to roll it over into like another, 401k, or do you want to do another company, or do you want to pay out? And so I was like, I want to pay out. Yo, let me turn this light on. So I was like, I want a payout. So they sent me my money. And that's how I got, it was like 20,000. So they sent it to me. So I was not expecting that. So I know that was the Father, because all these things that happened, I wasn't even thinking that. I'm like, I kind of got a one-track mind. I don't always be thinking all that, like some people are good at thinking like a planning like that, but I wasn't thinking like that. So I know it had to be the Father, because I wasn't even thinking like that. I would just get the idea, right? I know it was the set apart Spirit, right? Holy Spirit. So they sent me the money. So I had the other money that I saved from the 2 weeks, plus the sabbatical. I was saving all that money, plus I got the other money. So at this point, I was like, yeah, I got me my apartment. I bought all my furniture. I was trying to get everything that I needed while I had the money, because I was like, this money ain't gonna last forever. Thank you, Seneca. The Most High was like, he was working it out for me. I didn't even know how I was going to do all this. So when that money came through, I had a good amount, $20-something thousand. So when I say I was living like I was a local with that money. Like, y'all, I'm used to living on a budget. Y'all, when I say nitpicking that money, I was nitpicking that money like I didn't have nothing. I was living off. The only thing I spent money on that was a lot was that part. I was living with somebody at the time. So I ended up getting my own apartment. I ended up paying for 6 months. I ended up getting all my furniture, because my apartment was unfurnished, because I wanted an unfurnished apartment because it was cheaper. So at the time, my rent was $300 a month. So I got a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom for $300 a month, and it was empty, an empty shell. Like their unfurnished apartments don't have nothing in them. Like they don't have nothing. So I had to buy a stove, a refrigerator, a bed, a couch. I bought everything: dining room table, couch, bed, TV, washing machine, everything. While I had the money, I bought everything, curtains, everything for my apartment. That's the most I spent. I kind of splurged on that a little bit, but I was still on a budget with what I was going to. I mean, I was on a budget where I was paying for all my appliances. I was like, I ain't paying more than this. Like, I was real strict. And then after that, okay, so I was in my apartment. I paid for 6 months, and then I hadn't had my business yet, and all I had was savings. But I was always thinking, I was like, okay, this ain't gonna last forever. This money ain't gonna last forever. I got to figure out how I can make income. And I was still trying to find an online job. This is another reason why I was thinking maybe the Father didn't want me to work an online job, because I could not find one. I was online looking, and I couldn't find one. And then we got those stimulus checks. So I got 2, actually. I got, my son probably don't even know this, but I got one for me and one for my son. My son was like 20 something years old. And I had claimed him before I left. I think he was like 20 before, 2021, but he wasn't working. So I was taking care of him. So I had claimed him. Because I claimed him before I left, when the stimulus came, it came to me. It didn't go to him, but he was working. So he was in America making money. So I needed the money. So I got stimulus check for me and him, and I saved that money. And then that's when I created my business. So this was in 21 came, and I was like, I need some income. So I created the consultation business. And I was already doing consultations back in October of 2020, because people was calling me. I was one of the first ones here. Everybody was calling me. I was up all night sharing information, telling them what I did, how I booked my ticket, where I stayed, everything I was doing. So one of my girlfriends was like, you need to charge, because you've been here, people calling you, you can't get no sleep. So I started charging, and it was like $35 at the time. It stayed that until I think I changed it in 2020 to $60, but it was $35 for an hour or more. I was talking to people for hours. And then I had to up it because I needed the money. But that's when I started. So I just made it a business. I created a consultation business here, a brick and mortar business here. And so, yeah, so I can have a business because I knew I wanted to stay. I knew I needed to get a work permit. I knew I needed to get residency. So I needed a business. So that's what I did with this money that I had before it ran out. I created my business and did all that stuff, paid everything I needed to pay. I got got 2 partners. And, then I started continuing, still doing consultations, even from before I was making money doing it before. So that was my form of income. I had more. I was, at the beginning, I was making more because more people, but then people started coming. So, people don't get consultations like they used to. So I ended up incorporating business consultations for people who want to do business. Since I actually registered a business, I didn't want to offer a service that I actually didn't do. So at first I was just doing travel consultations, but then the idea came to me. Actually, a friend of mine gave me the idea. She said, you should do business consultations and charge for them because you actually created a business. So that's when I started doing business consultations. So I don't do as many travel consultations as I do business now because people want to create businesses. And I basically just walk them through the steps that I take to create my business for them. So that's what I do. And that's been the one that's been the most popular, the business consultation, because it's basically, I just show them the different steps and kind of talk them through how the system works here with the local. They have 51%, you have 49, your rights, their rights, this, that, what you say on the business, all that, everything about business that I did, I share with them in the business consultation, as well as referring my attorney who registered my business. And he's a legitimate attorney, real attorney, not no fake, phony, lying attorney. He actually got an office, but I only refer him to people who pay for a business consultation. So if you pay me, if you pay me for business consultation, I give you all the information. I share my attorney with you, and you can get your business set up through him with the local. So that's kind of how I've been surviving for the last 4 years. That's what I've been doing. That's how it's been. The Most High. It's been the Father just been whispering in my ear, telling me what to do, because I have no idea. I didn't know what I was going to do, y'all. And he was the one giving me the ideas, even about the business, everything. He would send people to tell me. Like people would tell me, well, why don't you do this? Why don't you? And I know he was using people to tell me that, in addition to telling me other stuff too about everything, because I didn't know all this. Like I didn't know none of this. I don't know. This is a foreign country, so I didn't know none of this. And even the connection with the attorney, how I met the attorney was through one of my partners. One of my partners was my driver, and both of my partners, my initial ones, they both was my drivers, and they spoke really good English, and they was helping me pick people up. So we was doing a business before I even got a business registered. And one of them had said to me, if you ever want a business, if you ever want to create a business, let me know and I will help you. And I was like, okay. But at the time, I wasn't even thinking on that at that point yet, because I was still getting paid. But it came. I was like, I gotta find ways to make money. And that's when the memory came back. Remember when your partner said, if you ever want to do business? And I called him, I said, I want to create a business. And so that's when I did it. And he was like, okay. And he said, let me introduce you to my cousin. And the attorney is his cousin. So the Most High orchestrated everything for me. My business was registered in 2 weeks. It's people that have come here with way more money than me, that have was trying to create a business and was not able to. But I was actually able to do it in 2 weeks. So I know it was the Most High that gave me the connections. I know it was him that gave me the ideas. Everything I've been doing, he's been leading me from day one. Because, I came solo, came by myself. I didn't know, this is a patriarchal society, and I'm by myself. I mean, a lot could have happened, but it's just been a blessing for me. And so even now, I'm working on a land and building project. I'm open if anyone want to donate towards my land and building project, but I'm working on that right now. And I'm in the process of doing the paperwork right now. I am not in a rush to do anything because everything is new to me. And for me, based on how the Most High has been dealing with me, or the Father, some people call him God, been dealing with me, is a slow pace. So I can't rush and do anything. I have to wait. A lot of times I got to wait for him to tell me if I want to do something. This is how I am. If I want to do something and I have a desire, right? I don't just run and do it. I just wait. I'll be like, Father, like I'll talk to him about it in my heart. I'm like, I want to do A, B, C, and D. But I don't know how to do it. So that's what I say. I don't know how to do it. So let me know how I should do it. And I'll wait. Sometimes I'll wait. Sometimes I have to wait. Unless he shows me exactly how he want me to do it, I won't proceed, because first of all, I don't want to lose money. And then I don't want to put myself in a position, because, at the time I was the only woman. I was by myself, and I don't have anybody at the time. I didn't have anybody to fall back on if I make a bad mistake. I don't have somebody to bail me out, basically. So I have to wait on the Father. Like, I can't make a costly decision. I mean, a bad decision like that. And I'm in a foreign country. I got to use wisdom, right? So I had to wait. So I just waited. As much as I wanted to just run out there and do this and do that, I had to wait. So whenever I wait, he'll tell me when he's ready to tell me. So even with the land, I've had my land and building project. I got a GoFundMe account for it, right? I've had it since 21, since I created my business, because I knew that I wanted to buy land under my business. I've been knew that when I created the business, because my partner was telling me how I could do it. So I knew I wanted to do it, but I didn't know where the money was coming from. Even with the GoFundMe. I don't know how I even thought about that, but it came to my mind. Just create a GoFundMe account. Like, everything I'm doing, it just is something that I know it's the Father who's giving me ideas, because I had no clue. I'm like, okay, I know I want to buy land, but I don't know how, because I don't know. I don't have a lot of money. And then I thought about that create a GoFundMe account for a land and building project, because you're working on that, blah, 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 blah. So that's why I created that back in 21 when I created the business. So my goal was 10,000, because I was like, with 10,000, I could buy land and build a house. You could build a house here for like 7,000. If you want to use, that's a concrete house, but if you want a natural material, you can build a house for less than that. But I was like giving it a minimum amount. So I was like, 10,000 would be enough to buy land and to build a house. So that's why my goal was 10,000. Way back in 21, I was just ideas, right? So here it is 4 years later. And now I'm just in the process of completing the paperwork for the land, because I had no idea where I wanted to be. It's like so much you got to think about when you're in a foreign country. As a woman too, this is a patriarchal society. I can't go looking at places. I can't do like the men do. I can't be out here going here talking to everybody. I can't do that. So it's going to take me longer as a woman. It was going to take me longer as a woman to get things done than it would a man. So that's why it's been taking me so long, but I'm finally narrowing it down. I had to wait on the Father for him to like send the right people to me, tell me where to go. I finally narrowed down my location. When I was thinking about land, I was thinking about Dar, but then I was like, I don't want to be in the city. I don't want to be in the big city. So I knew I needed to be out, but then I didn't want to be in the bush either, So it's just a lot of things that you got to consider when it's just you. At the time, it was just me. I didn't have a husband to give me ideas and stuff. So I just had to wait on the Most High. So that's why it's been so long since I've been working on this land and building project, and I'm finally narrowed down the location, and now I'm working on the paperwork. And then I had to wait and have a local talk for me. I can't talk about nothing here, y'all. Nothing. When it comes to big money, I can't say nothing, because if I want to get a good price, I can't. So I got to have a local to do it for me. And I was finally able to get the local to do this, tell them where, you got to give them all the information. Oh, this is what I'm looking at over here, and we got to go visit. And this, you got to do it. As a woman, it's a lot. So I had to do all that. So now I'm finally in the process. When I'm done with it, I'm not done. So I'm not advising people on purchasing land here because I haven't completed it yet. I'm only advising on things I've actually done right now. I'm in the process of looking at land under not in my name. It's under the business. You can't, as a foreigner, own land in Tanzania, but you can. Your business entity is what they honor and respect here in this country. So under your business can own land, your business entity. So under the business, I'm doing the paperwork to purchase land under the business. It's a business asset, but you can build a house on it. You can put an office on it. You can put fruits and vegetables and whatever for you to eat. You can do all that. So that's what I want to do. So I'm in the process. And so once that's done, that'll be something else that I can add to the business consultations on how you can purchase land under your business. And because I'm going to add that service, I may have to raise my consultation price, but I don't know. I'm praying about it. I might just leave it the same, but we'll see. But it's just something else that people can get when they do consultations with me. Everything is based on my experience. So stuff I actually done. You had people doing consultations with people on stuff they didn't do. You got people doing consultations that hasn't been in the country no time the past even 3 months to be consulting with people. Or you got people talking about business or whatever, and they don't have a business created, right? They're doing a consultation. This is in Tanzania. They're doing consultations with people on doing business and they don't have a business. They're doing consultations with people on buying land and they haven't even bought nothing on their own. You got people talking about building a structure and they haven't built one. See, you have to be, to me, I feel like this is just me. If you're going to charge people for a service, it's good if you have actually done it. So you can say, I walked through these steps, so I'm going to walk you through these steps of the steps that I've taken to acquire this, or to have built this, or to have bought this land under my business, or whatever. So that's me. It's just me. Maybe I'm old-fashioned, but it's just me. If I'm going to charge someone for information, it has to be something based on what I done, something that I did. So travel consultations, I travel here. I travel from the US to here. Boom. Business, I create a business. Boom. So next thing, how to purchase land under your business. Once I get that accomplished, boom, that's something I can consult with people. So I'm consulting people about stuff that I actually done. So right now, I haven't purchased land yet. It's not complete. So I can't give people advice. On a personal note, I can tell them what I did to get to the point I'm at. But when it's done and everything is successful, then I can say, yes, I successfully purchased this land under my business, and I can show you how to do it too. So anyway, I'm going to end this live. Thank you for the ones who jumped in. Thank you, Black Centric, again for the donation. Blessings. Thank you for sharing my YouTube channel. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time. Please do me a favor and thumbs up, like, sharing, like, comment, and subscribe. Thumbs up. And I will see you guys in the next live or the next video. I'm uploading a video now. I went out and I did a video out. I was out at around the city, and I did like a short video. So I'm going to upload that in a minute. But thank you for jumping in this the StreamYard, the live stream with me. I'm going to end this now. So you guys have a good one. It's dark here. Y'all talk till it got dark. So anyway, I'm going to close these windows. These mosquitoes don't come in here and start biting me up. But anyway, I'm going to end this stream and I'm going to talk to you guys in the next video or the next live. Shalom, salam, a peace, family. Bye.